to the final furlong.
They're up post.
As they make the turn into the stretch. Here's the wire.
Brought to you by Las Vegas. For all things Vegas, there's only one, LasVegas.com.
Thanks for going against the odds and logging on to Hollywood Casino, charlestown.com/racing. We've got a little bonus analysis for you on a big night of racing. Charlestown is giving away the money. I'm Aaron Vercruci here on the Network for Horse Sports. Welcome in my partner, Joanne Jones. Joanne, $1.5 million. The feature race purse. The winner walks home with a cool $1 million.
A cool $1 million. That is absolutely nothing to sniff at. There are not many races where you can walk away with a pot that sizable.
Let's do one of the races on the undercard before we get to the main event. And let's start with the Sugar Maple Stakes. Give you a look at the field. And this presented to you by Cantor Mid-Atlantic. $200,000 on the line. 7/8 of a mile. Fillies and mares 4-year-olds and up. Book review even money. Expected not to run.
Well, that's interesting. And even before I knew that that was a possibility, I was still going to try and go elsewhere. While book review is lined at even money and certainly holds all the cards as far as the consistency, the numbers, a race over the track, that type of thing, I went to 8-1 Dance to Bristol. This is a horse who has run at Charlestown, but they don't boast a win. They're 0 for 2. But I'm hoping that they go to the lead with that 45-3 and that they're able to stick around. They're coming off a couple of wins. They've been running against very tough horses like Agave Kiss, Defy Gravity, who was a decent one most recently, Bold Affair, and they have not been disgraced. So even if book review is in, I will attempt to do a steal with Dance to Bristol. But, with the scratch, that might be even better.
I can't argue. 12 out of 13 lifetime in the exacta, trained by Ollie Figgins III, who is a big HRTV fan and a pace advantage perhaps on many in this Sugar Maple race. I'm going to go right to her outside with Bione. 12-1 on the morning line. With book review doesn't run, obviously you're not going to get that. But what I do like is in 7 starts at Charlestown, she's never been off the board. 7 for 7 in the top 3. She goes third off the layoff. I'm an angle handicapper. You also get a cutback in distance. If the race comes back to a closer, I expect Bione to be running late in this race, going 7/8 of a mile. 2 lifetime wins in 4 starts, going 7/8, which is a tricky distance. It's not a sprint. It's not a route, but Bione likes going 7 furlongs. So let's tab for an upset there with Eric Ramirez in the saddle, a 5-year-old mare by Dance with Ravens. Obviously a Super Bowl party for me if the 12-1 upset can occur. Let's move on to the main event, Joanne. It is the $1.5 million Charlestown Classic, a grade 2. And gonna hang a $10 bill on Game On Dude. Mike Smith, the Hall of Famer for Bob Baffert.
Well, you've got Game On Dude, who likes to be out on the front end, as we all know. And Mike Smith has said he's just gotten so wise and he takes care of himself now that he's older. He breathes, he lets down, he relaxes, and then he powers home. But Waukesha Electronica, the defending champ, allow this horse to cakewalk. Their style can be go to the lead. They can go 45-2. Last year when they won, they sat fourth, about a length and a half off of it. But I can't imagine Waukesha Electronica is going to say, after you, Game On Dude, you take an easy lead and we'll just stalk and attempt to run you down, because it might not happen. I think they're going to be right at the ear. And if you have a match race like that from the beginning, boom, 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 I think it'll set up for someone else, and that someone could be Ron the Greek.
If it rains, he's gone.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I think he could sit a really good trip. I don't think he'll be that far off of it, but I think he'll sit a good trip, and I had to go Ron the Greek in here for the value and the proposed pace.
Let me ask you this. Game On Dude is 4-5 morning line, Joanne. Ron the Greek 5-2. I think there's going to be a bigger discrepancy between the two as far as odds goes.
Agree.
What kind of odds do you expect on Ron the Greek?
I think that I think Waukesha Electronica could go a lot lower than that 6-1, being the defending champ and having some very good current form and numbers and probably upside potential. So I think Ron the Greek might even be third choice.
I think Ron the Greek's going to be 4-1 when they leave the starting gate. He didn't really show up on a track that he really did like last year in the Big Cap, and I think he's going to get overlooked. And for Mott and Lascano to go here it really makes me think he's got a big shot to turn the tables off that loss to Game On Dude last time out in early March in the big cap right here at the Great Race Place. So I think you have a viable option if you're trying to beat the favorite. That's normally what her and I do here on the show. We try to go against the odds on favorites. And so I, too, will try and beat Game On Dude. I respect him as one of the top handicap horses in all of North America. But the horse who's been running behind him, and I'm talking about Clubhouse Ride, I think has a chance to whittle that gap with the presence of Garrett Gomez in the saddle, the tight turns at Charlestown. If you look back at Clubhouse Ride, he's never been better. And if you look back at his races across town here at Fairplex, who also is a bull ring and has tight turns, his numbers actually look pretty good. And if the tight turns do win Game On Dude, I expect to see Gomez and Clubhouse Ride rallying from off the pace. Be cool to see trainer Craig Lewis get a win. Now, he's kind of gun-shy on top. Clubhouse Ride only 3 wins in 26 lifetime starts, but 15 seconds and thirds. He always shows up. Some of these horses in here may not appreciate the tight turns. I think Clubhouse Ride will, and he comes in here with a bullet drill, and that's very un-Lewis-like and very un-Clubhouse Ride-like. I like his chances. 8-1 on the morning line. He's been well beaten by Game On Dude in his last 2. But the difference is Charlestown, and maybe we can get Garrett Gomez to the winner's circle at a big price. Now, Joanna, $1.5 million on the line, $1 million to the winner. Grade the strength of this Charlestown Classic field 1 to 10, with 10 being best.
I'd say it would be a lot closer to a 10 for this time of year with goals and horses just coming back from Dubai and not quite ready to run. I'd say you've got to put it up around an 8, because to get Game On Dude, to get Ron the Greek, to get the defending champ all in the starting gate, I think that's really good.
All right, stay with me. First post is at 5 Eastern. I'm going to give it a 9.
Oh, wow.
You get some grade 1 quality horses like they are this year. 5 Eastern with Charlestown Classic scheduled for 10:30 Eastern. A lot of money on the line for the horses, obviously. How about the money on the line for the bettors? $50,000 guaranteed. All stakes pick 4 races 9 through 12, which ends with the Charlestown Classic. So we like the nightlife, we like the bouquet, and we appreciate you logging on to Hollywood Casino, charlestown.com/racing. For Joanne Jones, myself, Aaron Vercruci, make sure you join us on HRTV every Thursday night as we go against the odds. Until next Thursday, bets of luck with all your wagers.